whether you're a new teacher or a 20-year veteran or a musician looking to get a quick
So this is the
teaching practice,
That looks phenomenal.
so
That's like Ramit Sethi quality, eh?
what was that?
That's like Ramit Sethi quality.
Oh yeah. So then I have like voiceover going with this. Well, I created these shots like in like 2 seconds. Each one is so easy to do.
That's nice.
I was just like astounded. I showed it to my wife. She was like, "Holy cow! How'd you do that?" And it just looks like, I spent weeks and months tracking down people to put this on their phones and stuff.
That's phenomenal.
So anyway, I just was so excited about that. I just wanted to show you guys.
So how have things been with growing that?
So I am committed now. Let me figure out how to shut this off now.
Yep, you're good.
Am I back? Are we back on? Okay. So I'm committed to launching April 4th. So the sales video is almost finished. I'll set up a lead page. I'm going to start approaching JV partners. So I think I need some guidance on that today. And I have a list of almost 500 people now. And
Nice.
I did something so ridiculous. I've had 4 music education websites over the years, all running in parallel, all having their own lists. And I was like, duh, what am I doing? I shut down 2 of them and merged it with this third Music Color Method one. There's one that's still my local music teaching. That seems to be separate. That seems okay. So now I have 3 websites worth of content put into this one. And then I realized I was giving away all this free sheet music and getting like hundreds of visitors a day downloading this without asking for an email. So I put a lead box on every one of them, and all of a sudden I'm like just zooming with every day I get like 10 or 12 new signups. I mean, not everyone is going to be super high quality, but it's certainly created a different momentum. And now I've created a private Facebook group, and people are starting to chat a bit in there. There's only about 15 people in there. And I have one coaching client, and he's ready to renew his coaching with me. He's getting so much value. I know. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this. And I've asked him to be my community manager, and he said, yeah, sure. So I haven't figured out compensation for him yet. He hasn't asked. I haven't offered any. So
wait, what couldn't you believe?
I couldn't believe that he renewed because I was in such a different mindset before. Like, who am I to coach anybody? And all of a sudden, this guy's paying me close to $2,000, and then he wants to renew. I'm like, what?
That's phenomenal.
So yeah, I was like, all right, I guess I'm bringing value. He totally hit all his goals already that we set out, and last week we were like, well, you need to make new goals. And I told him, read Magic of Thinking Big, go out and think about this, like just totally go for and now he's totally, I blew up his world the other day because I was just giving him so many ideas. He was like, ah! So yes, that's been good. But
so do you want to get more into coaching?
I do. I love the coaching. I'm really enjoying coaching. So maybe, what day do you guys meet? And would I be allowed to join you guys?
We meet Fridays. I'm getting bad feedback.
What was that?
I'm getting bad feedback.
Oh, that's better. It's better
That's
now.
better now. Yep, no, it's better. That was weird. Yeah, I'll email Clay.
Okay.
Let you know, because he's the one that set it up. So, yeah, I'll give him an email.
So if you were so this guy, what I want him to do is to be in charge of my Facebook group, like basically welcome new members, approve the new members, post little provocative questions, sort of like what Stacy does with the foundation. I want this guy to do that. What do you guys think would be a good compensation for him? We haven't really discussed it.
It's really like a 1 to 2 hour a week type of job. So it's like maybe $200 to $300 a month on the high end. Like that's like, so I have a LinkedIn group that's just getting kicked off, and for $250 a month, they're bringing in 200 new members and managing the community.
That's the job of the person you hired to do that?
Yeah, it's like a productized LinkedIn group service, but essentially like, it's $250 a month, and they're putting in new content, they're bringing in new people, they're basically keeping it active enough that eventually when I want to take over, I can just jump right in. But
is it a person or is it a company?
It's a company, but they're also bringing in 200 targeted users a month for that same $250.
That's like $1 a user.
Yeah.
What's the? Do they do Facebook too?
No, they only do LinkedIn. But
What's
that's like it's a very similar process.
Yeah.
Like essentially what it's essentially just you go to those same other music teacher groups that you're in and everything. You just send everybody a private message. Hey, I'm starting this up.
Yeah.
We have these free resources inside the community. If you're up for it, I'd love to have you. Click here to join. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I'm also trying to figure out what to have in there that would make them want to join. Like, I guess I have to have some kind of freebie, something, right?
It's probably a lot of the free stuff you're giving away on the blogs and stuff. It's probably the exact same stuff.
Just keep it in there.
Yeah.
Cool. Huh.
Question, Andrew.
Yeah.
So, had this guy tried any other coaches before he got in with you, or was it his first go ahead?
He's never had coaching in his life, though he has paid for lots of psychotherapy. So I guess that's similar, right? And he approached me because when I put out started putting out my newsletter, I started saying, look, I have 1 or 2 slots open for coaching. And then he got on a Skype call with me, and then when I told him the price, he was like, oh, let me think about that. But then 3 days later, I reiterated basically everything he said he wanted to do, and I said, and I could do a payment plan. And then he's like, oh, okay, we got to do it. So it was originally I was going to charge $2,000 a month, and I said, okay, it's $1,800 up front. But then he was like, oh, I can't. Can we do it $600 a month for 3 months? I was like, okay, we can do that. So.
What if you just created a simple report or a resource that basically highlighted this is what music teachers usually try to do to build, but this is what they actually need to do in order to build it successfully.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And then you're not giving the how. You're basically opening up their mind to a whole new possibility.
Like a checklist almost.
More or less, like this is what the people usually do, but this is how you can actually be successful, and this is what they usually do, and you can use this guy as a case study. There, you have proof right. You have proof right there. That's my biggest thing right now. I was in the hot tub after I was working out tonight, and this random guy came in, and his name's actually he gave me his card. His name's Tom, and I was like, "Hey, you from Sioux Falls?" Blah blah blah. And he's like, "What do you do?" I was like, "Well, actually, I teach chiropractors how to become entrepreneurs to be successful." And he's like, "Oh, that's cool." Blah blah. Gave him the spiel, and he's like, "How many clients do you currently have?" I was like, "None right now. I'm just launching and getting started." And he's like, "Do you have a degree in this?" I was like, "No, just self-taught and just just gung ho about it. And he's like, oh, he's like, yeah, I have my master's in business. It's like, interesting. And we started talking a little bit more, and he's like, after a while, I asked him, I said, what do you think my biggest roadblock is right now? And he said, the proof that the model to go from a chiropractor into an entrepreneur with a chiropractic degree, that first off, it even matters. And second off, that the model that you present to them, that it'll actually work. And he's like, right now you have no proof that it's going to work. And I was like, no, you're right. But he's like, it seems like you know what you're talking about. Inside, I was like, that felt good. But he's like, that's your biggest thing right now is you don't have proof that this is going to work. But that's something that you do have. You have proof that what you taught has worked. So you're already you're that step ahead of me already. So.
Yeah, I think it. But you know, even if you have the proof, sometimes you don't believe the proof until you have this little shift. And I had to go through that shift because I still wasn't seeing it. And it's funny because my first few videos I did, I was so tentative, and then when I just did this recent sales video, even Ted was like, "Oh my God, you were talking with so much authority." I was like, because I believe it now. You know, it's like kind of like I get it, and I'm thinking for you, Terrell, that it would be awesome for you to just work for free for like 2 or 3 people that you know from maybe your dad's network. Little implementations of little quick fixes that can then become case studies and testimonials for you.
Don't you already have proof through the work that you've done with your dad? Because he's a chiropractor, right? So you were heading the marketing for him. So like whatever you did in that realm is equally applicable.
Oh man, it goes back to what Andrew was talking about. Is actually, I know it helped. He told me it helped, but it's actually them believing it. Like, right, there is value there that I can bank on already, right there.
You got to write those things down on a big list, because each one of those things, almost like you got to see it from the outside in, as if you were talking about this guy named Terrell and his father, and what value he did for this, and then separate those into little projects, like case studies almost. And you don't even have to use real names. You can say, there was this doctor, he had this problem. We did these things, blah, blah, blah. You know?
Mm-hmm.
It's, I think you're further along than you think.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how I can take those and the things I've done and yeah, no, you're right. Well, I was thinking, all right, what bucket would I put each of these things in? Would it be the marketing bucket? Would it be like the systems and processes bucket? Would it be the strategy bucket? Would it be the building a team bucket? Like what bucket would I put each of these in? But
I think you have multiple things, right?
Yeah, I do. Mm-hmm.
You should start creating a spreadsheet of all those things and just separate them out so that there's problem solution. Even though there might be one client, it doesn't matter. It's a problem and it's a solution, and it worked for this problem.
Mm-hmm.
And then go get somebody that's a warm network person and do it again. You know? Just to get, I think, more to build up your own belief in yourself, because I think you can totally do it if you just shifted that mindset the same way that I was kind of challenged to do that. I was in a mastermind meeting in Manhattan with all my New York mastermind, And I was like, I was freaking out about my credit card bill coming up, and they were like, "What?" All right, and they just told me, "Look, you need to go get a high-end coaching client by 2 weeks from now. By the time we see you again." And lo and behold, it happened. So, if you'd like to have that challenge, we can challenge you to go get yourself a client
Accepted.
by
Something that
by two
something
weeks.
that all right, 2 weeks I'll have a client. So something that Tom said was, he said, yeah, you don't have that proof yet, and he said these doctors just come out of schooling, and then here you are as a 24-year-old. He's like, you have to show them that what you're saying will help. But he said, don't mistake yourself. He said you will have failures along the way. He said you will. But he said what you have to do is, and this is common knowledge, but it felt good hearing him say it. He said, you'll have those failures. Don't worry about it. Like, you think this would work, or this is how you should do it, but then you realize, no, what, it actually didn't at all. And he said, the only way that you won't succeed is if you don't learn from those, for when you go to the next. And I was like, no, you're right.
So, Jamil, what have you been working on?
So I
Moolah.
took a look at Grant Cardone's 10x course thing. So I like reshifted everything I'm doing around that. So instead of aiming for like 500K a year business, I'm aiming to close 3 million this year by the end of this year,
Okay.
and be at $250,000 monthly recurring revenue.
Okay. Because that's 10x basically.
That's it, it's not even 10x. It's more like 5 or 6x my goals.
Okay.
10x would be like, what was it? It'd be a quarter or 3/4 of a million per month in recurring revenue, and 9 to 10 million by the end of this year. That would be 10x the goals that I was after.
Okay.
So what profit is this? How much profit is in the revenue?
50%.
50%? Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's basically like I'm taking a small chapter out of the 10x thing, and just the idea that, like, if you hit 20-30% of that goal, that's great. That's still an awesome success. And then, I told you already, I kind of fired some clients, so I'm getting rid of everybody who can't be outsourced, who's bringing in too little revenue, and I'm only focusing on those where I don't have to do anything other than close them on the phone. So if they don't close on the phone, or it takes more than a month to close them, I'm not dealing with those clients at all. And if I have to actually do work for them, I'm not dealing with those clients either. Because I don't need to be going after all the revenue in the world. I just need to be going after revenue that's worth spending the 30 minutes a month that I'll have to work with them. And then I started looking into the info product route. So, I've launched 3 membership sites for other businesses already. I've launched 2 fully, and there's 2 more in the pipeline, one of which is almost done. Going to be launching this week, and then the other one's launching next week. And all of those have reached beyond 6 figures. The 2 that I'm launching this week and next week should do 7 figures by the end of this year. So I'm looking at potentially a way to bring either a membership site and take all the stuff that I've been doing for free, bring it into the membership site, or build out a course. I was taking Frank Kern's info blueprint business thing, his course, and I'm looking at either taking one particular course there, or taking the idea of a big ticket course like the foundation, where it's 6,000 to 8,000, and then building out 1 or 2 small products on the front end just to get people in, basically just to cover advertising costs. So actually, I set up ads to test them out today. So I'm sending out ads based on a couple different topics where I'm just going to be testing, whether the topics resonate with those people or not, and see how that goes.
Wow. What did you close 12K on today?
So I did a dentist webinar last week to like 200 dentists.
Uh-huh.
I booked like 20 calls out of that. This is like the 8th call or something. Most of them said like they couldn't afford it, and then this guy just got on the phone. He was like, I'm already spending $2,000 a month, and I basically want to spend about that, but I need to get more leads out of it. So he's getting like 3-4 leads a month. So he's like, out of $2,000, like I need to get 10 leads. I was like, okay, that's doable. So he basically on the phone, he's like, okay, give me the payment link, let's do it.
So does he pay you up front, or is that
Yep.
Monthly?
Yep, paid up front.
12K up front.
Mhm.
And that's for the rest of the year?
Yep.
Fabulous. And then if you don't
The
deliver...
12K is the management fee. So there's ad spend and stuff on top.
Oh, okay. And if you don't deliver the results, what happens?
Nothing. There's no guarantee on anything there.
Okay. So he basically believes you, and you believe that you can do it, so...
Yeah, I mean the guy was doing. They're doing. I saw the campaign that he had set up is like really really shit ad copy tied with like traffic to the homepage.
So it's low-hanging fruit.
So like it's just I put a like 2 or 3 landing pages together, focus them on like it's literally a 4-hour setup and then I never have to touch it again.
Oh my God.
Dude, that's what I'm talking about.
That's $3,000 an hour.
Local business is like the easiest thing by far.
That's $3,000 an hour.
Yeah.
Wow.
Give me some of that. What are you drinking? What cold one is that?
Corona. Celebrating.
Congrats. That's awesome.
Yeah, because I realized like last month I had a bunch of really good wins come like all at the end of the month.
Yeah.
So I was like, perfect. I have like a weekend to celebrate. So now I said, okay, I'm gonna celebrate every little win.
Yes.
That's the only way that I'm gonna be able to remember like, okay, I had that win, and not just like start looking at new routes of things, get the shiny object syndrome going.
That's important. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you found that guy through the webinar? He watched the webinar.
So through the webinar, I actually just copied a Dan Kennedy webinar.
Oh.
He has this course called Local PPC Mastery or something like that.
Uh-huh.
I just copied their webinar, so it's literally like it was the number one way to generate leads that turn into patients or clients or whatever in the next 48 hours.
Yeah.
And it just walks through like here's the best practices. So like write decent ad copy, like basic stuff.
Generalization.
Yeah, don't send traffic to a home page. Like that was basically it. I just walked through that. And so like out of the 200, I got 20 onto calls. I sent out an email today about like the lead gen, the 1K per month like lead gen type thing. I got 2 responses from that, and I'm gonna send another email because what I'm testing right now with ads for like a membership site is this membership site like $27 a month, proven marketing strategies for dentists. You pay $27 a month. We do webinar once a month. We do office hour calls twice a month. So it's like a 5-hour input total on my end. And I'm hoping that out of the 200 or so that are on the email list, I can maybe get like 10 in there. So if I can get like 10 in there, it's decent.
That's
and then I just need to worry about like scaling up ads to bring in more.
That's fabulous. Love it. Love it.
I'm gonna copy you in the chiropractic industry, unless you're going there.
No, do it, man. Dude, that's what I was gonna mention, but it's like it's much more just like here's a bunch of actionable stuff. Chances are most of them will never action on it, but the upsell there is okay. Well, here's like 50 webinars that I've run. I know what I'm doing. Do you want something done for you? Like click here, and we start at $2,000 a month to work with me. So that way, it's basically a passive lead generator that I'm already getting paid for anyways.
Wow. That's a different world for music educators. They don't make that kind of money. So
there's like I noticed though there's like 25,000 of them on Facebook.
What?
So you could music teachers.
Oh, really?
So you could look at running like an ad campaign using like the funnel type thing that I posted on the Facebook group. Like that's basically, front end offer is, opt in here to see how we do this, and that's, leads to VSL right into, hey, you should book a call with me. And you sell them coaching, you sell them a course, you sell them whatever fits their budget.
Yeah. Well, I'm planning on doing a live webinar in 2 weeks. I just need to set up also some JV partners. So there's a couple of guys who have big lists in the music educator blogging space that are kind of open to me, I think. So I got to just approach them and say, would you be interested? Do you guys have any suggestions for like tracking affiliate sales? Just use like some plugin or something?
The easiest way, if you have a cart set up, is just like coupon code it. So give them like 5% or 1% off or something, and it's enough that someone's going to enter in the coupon code.
Right.
That way you can track through there. Yeah, it's kind of like ideally the platform you're on has an affiliate thing built in. Like everything I'm doing now is on ClickFunnels because it has the affiliate bit built in. So it'll do all the tracking for me, and it'll just attribute to whoever it is. I know there's a couple of WordPress plugins that have a very similar functionality. Are you running on Optimize Press?
I'm running lead pages to Zippy courses. So
Zippy courses should have.
You think they have it?
They should have an affiliate program. Because like Teachable and all that has it as well.
Oh, look at that.
You might just need to like get in touch with them to figure out how to set it up, but
I just found it. Yep.
Yeah, I'm sure they have it. It's just a matter of yeah. The main thing is you just want to make sure that whatever data gets hit on lead pages gets sent over to Zippy Course.
Right.
They'll probably be able to help you with figuring out how that works, but yeah.
Huh. Well, that's pretty cool. I just answered the question. That's good. Well, let's see what the pricing is, though. Holy cow. All right. It's a little expensive. Well, not that expensive.
Yeah, I mean, depending on how big the lists are that you can get a hold of, like in terms of like joint venture partners, like you can drive some serious growth there. I was talking to the VP of marketing over at QuickSprout, and like almost every deal that they do is with a guy that has like a 50,000 plus person list, and they average like a $50,000 to $150,000 per joint venture partner.
Wow.
And when they do a launch, they'll have like 10 to 20 of those. So like this guy, he's only like 2 years on for QuickSprout. He's already done like $2 million worth of launches.
Wow. Well, the other thing that I want to do is start trying to expand it from music teachers to like side hustle type people who are like, oh, I actually know how to play the piano, but I never thought of making money from teaching it, and I can basically train someone to do this with this course. So it almost needs a separate kind of sales page for that. And then I have to find those kinds of guys. But those guys would have much bigger lists.
Yeah, I think like the biggest thing is just if you can show them numbers, you can close as big of a guy as you want. But it's like you have to do everything for them. So like the QuickSprout guy, like the way he was saying is like offer to do everything from like writing email copy to even going in and scheduling it for them and all that.
Oh wow!
And just be able to like show them numbers. So if you can say like, because I was talking to him about like Dan Martell, so he runs Clarity.fm.
Yeah.
I'm connected to him because I work with his wife.
Okay.
So like I wanted to do something with him, and I know that he has another project on the go. So he was like, you have to approach it like, here's the numbers for my funnel. I know that you have this audience available. I will write everything for you. high converting emails, everything else. You can even give me like a temporary password to your email system. I'll schedule everything up. So all you have to do is take 2 minutes to review my email copy to make sure it's on point, and that's it. You don't have to do anything else. You just sit back and collect the check.
Wow.
And it's like, at that point, it's a no-brainer.
Wow.
Like, if a guy's doing like $1 million plus, like, that's what you have to do. Otherwise, they just don't have time. Like, I'm nowhere near that right now, but like, even for me, if someone approached me as a joint venture partner, I don't have time. I wouldn't have anywhere, like, I wouldn't even have 5 minutes to give them.
Huh. That's awesome. Yeah, I don't really have a lot of numbers to show yet because I haven't really. I just had my validation of 3 people who paid, but I don't have like, all right, we did a launch already. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, mainly what they want to see is like conversion rates and stuff on whatever you're going to pay them out. So if you're going to pay them per like leads signed up, they just want to see conversion rate on the email list. So like with Dan's particular thing, I'm gonna try and leverage his audience to get into my growth hacking newsletter. So that way, like what I can show him is, so the growth hacking newsletter, I'm gonna pay him per lead. For that particular landing page, I get a 50% conversion rate. So I can go to him and say, okay, so I'm gonna pay you 50 cents a lead. You have an audience of 250,000 people just on your Facebook page. You know, I'll pay 25 cents a lead or something like that, because what I'm going to convert is at least like 10,000 people. And that way for him, it's worth the time, and it's worth that like one mention in order to like close, you know, $2,000-3,000 worth of revenue for like no work.
That's awesome. Oh boy.
So I'm gonna send you a link to the slides that I used for this webinar, because it's almost exactly about the same type of stuff that you're going after, where it's like, here's how to go from like a dentist to an entrepreneurial dentist who can hire other people and, you know, not have to work and take all the time they want to do like anything that they want.
Yeah.
What we talked about there was just going out and being like, okay, you know, I want to take a 7-week vacation this month, or like, you know, this quarter, and I'm just going to do it because I have 5 other associate dentists working for me. Like that resonated so much with those people.
Taking vacation, yeah.
It was insane. I didn't know that it was such a big thing, but like when you mention to someone, you're like, you know, this guy gets like 7, like the example that I had in there was this guy from Infusionsoft who had like fully optimized his practice with automation, and he was able to get 700% more vacation days. Basically, he was able to take like a month and a half off every year. And people were like, people were flipping out. They were like, there's no way. Like, that's so BS. But it's real.
That's what I want. I want to take off June, July, and August. Oh, man.
There we go. There it is.
So basically, it talks about building. It's basically talking about building a team around you.
It's essentially like how to take over the business mindset that's going to allow you to not look at the business as a dentist, but look at the business as someone who owns a dental clinic that can hire other people. So, you know, it's not all about you doing all the work.
That's the shift that everybody needs to make.
Yeah. That's a shift that very few people make. Everybody needs to make, but very few people make. There's the PDF.
How do you like my? Rich Sheffrin calls it the core concept, but I put in the chat. the chiropractors struggle while entrepreneurs with chiropractic degrees continually thrive. That's the concept I was trying to go after. Does it resonate, or do I need to switch the wording up? I was trying to show him, like, I could say chiropractors struggle while strategic chiropractors continually thrive.
I mean, so the way that Dan Kennedy puts in here is entrepreneurial dentist, and I think or like entrepreneurial attorneys or whatever it is. I think the reason why he does it that way is it's not saying like you have to go and you have to learn more. It's just you have to make that shift in the way you think. So it's not learning or anything. It's just one flick of the switch, and you're thinking in a different way. So I think like when you look at like entrepreneurs with chiropractic degrees, that particular wording sounds to me like there's a fundamental learning that they are missing, which is why they're not where they need to be.
And is that good?
I think it sounds like it's probably more work than it actually is for them.
Okay. Okay.
So the phrase was what was the phrase again? A dentist who
It's become an entrepreneurial dentist. Let me actually pull it up. It's in the second slide here.
So what does he call people who are not entrepreneurial dentists? Just dentists?
So what he says is he doesn't really call them anything. He just says like get out of the dentist rat race or like the whatever rat race and become an entrepreneurial dentist that has other dentists working hard for you while you reap the benefits, have more time to do whatever you want, and have more money to do whatever you want with.
Ooh, I like. You said that's in the PDF that you sent me?
Yeah, that PDF is all the slides that I used.
Cool. I'm going to save that because I learned if you don't now, it goes away.
Yeah.
oh yeah, the Google Hangouts doesn't save this, right?
No.
No. Got it.
Boy, mine is so slow.
Yeah, I gotta head out. I have a call in about 20-30 minutes. Another dentist. See how that goes.
You got it. You got it. Wait, hold on. Before you go, how did you pick dentist? Like, was it just random?
Yeah, it was pretty much random. So I have a message that I'm sending out to it's really various industries, basically just asking people who own groups with a lot of people in them, like LinkedIn groups with a lot of people in them. I'm asking them if they want to do a joint venture where I provide them with free content, and in exchange, whatever revenue I close, they get a percentage of it. So in this case, this guy happened to own, like he owns eight medical groups on LinkedIn, like plastic surgeons, chiropractors, dentists, everything. And the total group size across all of them is about 250,000 people. So the dentist size was the largest one. It was 45,000. So based on whatever we close out of this, he's going to look at whether or not it makes sense for him to let me into his other groups.
So is this guy like? He's just a business guy. He's not a dentist, right?
Yeah, he has nothing to do with the medical industry. He's like the CEO of something called like the Executive Network. The guy's like so untech savvy and everything. I think what it was is all of a sudden he was just like, we should have groups on LinkedIn, and someone in his office was just like, okay, I'll handle it. So like now he just has all these groups of like phenomenal audiences.
Holy cow! So all those groups are private, right?
Yep.
Huh? What's the trick in getting them to start talking to each other?
It's not really anything. I mean, for the most part, like even the guys that I'm paying, it's a very basic process. It's basically you try to connect with as many whatever people in those industries you can, and you send them a very basic message once you've connected with them. It's just, hey, I'm starting this group. I think you're going to benefit from it. Click here to join.
Right.
That's essentially it. But like even when I was talking to like the Quicksprout guys, that's how they built their groups as well. That exact super basic message.
Cool.
Hey, before you go, what's this webinar slides key? What is that like?
That's a keynote. Just use the PDF. It's the exact same
Oh,
doc.
okay. Gotcha. I was like, what is that? Okay. Cool. Sweet. Thank you.
All right. Let me know if you guys need anything else. But yeah, I'm gonna head out.
Yeah. Hey, congrats again on the big wins.
Thanks. Hopefully some nice bigger ones coming this month.
Yeah.
Hoping for it.
Me too.
All right.
All
Let me
right.
know if you guys need anything. But otherwise, have a good one. Have a good week.
Make it a great
And,
week.
Definitely. And we'll definitely speak soon. All right. Take care. Bye.
Peace. All right. Thank you, everyone, for watching this week's Awesomest Mastermind. It is March 8th. Right. We will see you next week. All right. Bye bye for now.